Hello everybody, welcome to another video here on Fantastic Talks. I am back with a Dragon Ball commentary today. It's been a while since we've done one of these. I am joined by Scourge and Tim.
Hello.
Hi. Alright, last time we were together we did the reaction video to Legend, didn't we?
We did.
Remember that fan
animation?
animation?
That was the first one of us on this new channel.
It was.
There's been many before that on the
old
channel.
yeah, many before that on my old channel.
Yeah.
But this is my new channel going forward for discussion-based videos now. And what better yet to talk about Superhero.
Yep.
The new Dragon Ball movie. We've seen that. What was it? A few weeks ago now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Feels like we kind of missed the bar a bit, but as I've said, it's still getting talked about even now.
Yeah.
And it's fresh in my brain. I don't know about you guys, but
no, it's given me time to really think the film over. And I've definitely got some opinions of it now, comparing it to Broly.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's good to talk about it now because I think the spoilers are kind of like
it's kind of lifted now.
Yeah,
and
we can kind of say what we want. We don't have to watch what we.
Well, they started spoiling themselves towards the release.
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
So
they always do.
Again.
And like
Go Vegeta.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many like people on like Twitter and that like review the film themselves and keep comparing it to Broly, and I'm like,
I feel like it's inevitable.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you guys
they're
came
onto something.
You guys came out of that theater like singing High Heaven. And
oh yeah, we were quite. I was excited for it. Just because of how.
You know, I was being pretty cynical. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
yeah,
I have a lot of good to say about.
Yeah, I've got good to say about it as well.
Spoiler
as well
alert!
as bad.
I have some bad to say about the film.
Yeah. so do I, kind of. To be honest. So, where should we start? Who wants to begin?
Should we just?
Well, let's start at the beginning.
Yeah,
should we all just break down from beginning to end?
That's kind of, I guess so. Like, I'm not really sure. I don't know how we did this for Broly, but we kind of just jumped from one thing to the next.
We kind of jumped to the main cool points, really. But I don't know, Gohan.
Let's be real. We're all just waiting to talk about the main thing.
Yeah.
Shall we just get it out of the way?
The big red elephant in the room.
Let's get that out of the way then.
Okay.
What, Gohan?
No, big red elephant.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Max.
Yes.
I'd like to clarify that my problems with this film do not begin and end with Cell Max.
Of course not.
So it's just one of the problems.
I'm surprised they name dropped Cell in the film anyway. I thought you would have kept him surprised. Like, a bit of a...
Yeah, that was weird. That we decided to mention Cell
very early on.
They did not mess about.
No. Yeah.
So, I don't know, like, Cell Max is a weird one now, because I liked him, but didn't like him at the same time, because of how they teased the beginning. With the flashbacks of Red Ribbon Army.
You wanted
Perfect Cell.
You wanted Cell.
Yeah, but he could have been in that red form. The red and green, with his tail out.
True.
Stuff.
In fact, he could have.
Funnily enough, you know,
breaking up the fan art
with semi-perfect Cell. Oh, I think I've seen this. Yes, I've seen this. I'll have an image, but I've seen this.
Beautiful.
It just when I saw that, I was like, oh, why didn't we get that? That would have been cool.
Right.
But like, and it's. I like the concept that they went with semi-perfect Cell look again because.
And it's Toriyama's favourite.
It's Toriyama's favourite. That's what he wanted originally for his perfect form.
Yeah.
He wasn't planning a perfect form.
Yeah.
Before.
I actually I don't have a qualm with Cell Max using semi-perfect even.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I like it even.
It's clever.
I do prefer perfect form.
Because it's not perfect Cell. It's not the Cell.
And the colour combination is something
stuff.
I always wanted.
Yeah.
I always actually wanted to see a red Cell. Yeah. So in a way I kind of...
Because that was the idea if Cell was going to come back. Because if he'll have the sane cells in him, he would have turned into a god form.
That's what we said.
That's what we thought.
Yeah.
That's what we fear was
I mean, that's not what they...
When Super was a thing, with Frieza coming back and whatnot.
Yeah, but then it changed to gold. And it changed to blue.
Yeah, literally.
And then we were like, we'll have a storm Cell.
Like, if this Cell... Right. They didn't actually specify if this Cell Max had been made from anyone's DNA or anything like that. Yeah. We don't really know the ins and outs of how they did it. How Dr. Hedo did it.
We predicted a lot of things about this film, and a lot of it we got wrong, unsurprisingly.
Actually, no, I kind of hold both of you accountable for why we got Cell Max. You're both to blame. In fact, hold on, let me just pull out my notes.
Yeah, sorry, I've got Akira Toriyama on speed dial.
Let me pull out my notes, hold on.
Okay.
Dragon Ball movie predictions. Will Cell absorb Gamma 1 and 2?
No.
Will Gohan have a new form? Yes. 12th of March 2022. You said at 19 minutes and...
Did you actually quote this?
At 19 minutes and 10 seconds, I quote, "How cool would it be if it was a bio version of Cell?" You said at 22 minutes 14 seconds, "There's a good 20 to 30% of me that does want it to be bio Broly. They won't do it. I know they won't."
They didn't.
They did.
They didn't do Broly.
Yeah.
I literally... No, when I said that, I literally meant Broly.
But the concept
You got your concept, that's for sure.
Pretty much by Broly.
And
I definitely had that vibe.
Let's get this.
So I blame the both of you.
Okay, you say blame. I say you should be grateful because I still like Cell Max.
Yeah, no, I know.
I have thought about it. I have thought about it extensively.
But the power scaling is complete bullshit.
The power scaling's...
welcome to Dragon Ball.
No, I know.
There's so much peeking!
I get you. What you're saying with the power scaling and stuff with Dragon Ball, we all know this. I know it's all like effed up now.
Now, how about since before Z?
No, since before Super began. At least when
during
Z's power scaling was fine.
Goten and Trunks.
Goten and Trunks was different.
You can't keep saying that.
Nah.
You can't keep defending
You
that.
might as well say Gohan then.
I will.
Like, no.
He was 11.
You know, I kind of knew when we were going into this that it was going to be an argument more than a commentary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because
yeah.
you got to admit that you have god level enemies now existing, like Beerus, Zamasu. You had like Jiren and Broly and whatnot.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me Cell Max, who was created by humans,
Wait.
managed to make him stronger than godlike enemies?
If they'd have explained... if they'd have explained it a bit better...
Gohan just randomly gets a god
and
power
they would have
off the
actually
bat.
done a
It
Cell...
doesn't have God power.
Yeah, if they'd have done a...
It matches Blue though.
We'll talk
and
about...
Ultra Ego and stuff.
Wait, we're skipping into
So does
Gohan.
Frieza.
Look,
Didn't have a problem with Frieza.
That's a good point. Technically, that's not God power. When you think about it, it's on level.
Well, Black Frieza.
No,
Golden
God.
Frieza.
In general,
right.
I think that's like Broly. That's just standard Ki, just pushed so high that it compares to God Ki.
Yeah.
Makes God Ki seem almost redundant. And weirdly, that they wrote it in anyway.
Well, that's it. Like,
To be fair, that was 9 years ago. They couldn't predict that they were going to.
I know it's like they invented God Ki and then went nah.
Yeah, but they had to. Because they couldn't just give every new character God Ki.
Yeah, but that's the problem when they introduce it like that, isn't it? It's like, oh shit, we can only everyone else is going to get shafted now.
Well, that's just
the
problem with a series that goes on for so many years and.
The characters don't
the
progress
momentum.
organically. That's the problem. Like we'll get to that as well. When we talk about, but Cell Max, if they'd have taken the time to explain like an origin and said that he was in fact made with like Goku's current cells, or something, and said, okay, yeah, the god might, and the whole he was made on Earth by humans. In the defense, you know, the androids in Cell were made by humans, and they could surpass Super Saiyans easily, which at the time was something that we never would have predicted.
At the time, we considered God level.
Yeah, how the fuck did those humans make, right? So in a way, we are just repeating history in a sense. It's absolutely ridiculous when you put it up against Broly, sure.
That's what I mean.
But we are just repeating the same.
There is definitely a lack of explanation, but it is a movie, and a movie's job is not to explain; it's to entertain.
Yeah,
if you want explanations, you read the
Shueisha Kaizenshu.
You read some what do we call it? Extrapository material. Extra
Supplementary.
Supplementary. That's the word. Thank you. You read supplementary material, or you look at interviews and stuff. The job of a movie is to entertain. So the fact that they didn't bother to explain it is annoying. Yes, but absolutely fair enough, because I would rather have 20 minutes of awesome action fighting than 20 minutes of talking.
And this is why
Pointless
this is what makes Broly so good, because you had the entertainment, but the plot was still good.
Yes, but Broly's talking wasn't explaining. That was character building.
You guys were going back on what you said, literally our last commentary.
People change.
It hasn't been that
Now
long.
that we've seen the film, we have our
it's
better
not.
opinions on it now.
I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
No, Legend. When we were watching Legend, we all
Oh,
simultaneously agreed that we like talking in Dragon Ball.
Yes, but I'm talking about talking as in character development.
Yeah.
But talking in Broly was all about establishing him as an actual character rather than the screaming man. But talking in this that we're talking about is explaining.
Exposition.
Yeah.
I don't want explaining because
Well, no, see,
I don't need it.
The thing is,
I'd rather have explaining.
Well,
because
I
it just
don't
makes
care.
it
to me, there's a
for
grey
power
area
levels.
with it, because you see the exposition we get in like the power tournament, for instance, is like 5 seconds of what we actually can see, and then the other 10 minutes of the Kai's explaining what we just saw.
Yeah.
Like I can work it out for myself, but when I can't work it out, I do like a bit of explanation. Because I don't like having to guess.
That's what I mean.
You know,
But I don't need that explanation to take up screen time.
No.
It doesn't have to take up screen time. It's just
Well,
a
it
brief
would.
explanation.
Yeah.
Like,
That takes up screen time. You can't just magically...
especially if the movie's now being like an hour and a half long nowadays.
Exactly.
You still add like a bit of explanation as well as tons of fighting.
No, but the problem is that
That's why
they
Broly
can't-
works so well.
No, so the reasons why films are... They cut so much out of film times is so that they can make more money. Because the shorter a film is, the more times they can show it in a day in the theatres. So cutting out as much unnecessary stuff as possible is for the betterment of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll get an anime adaptation of this film.
Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
God.
If they go for the super route like they did Beerus and Resurrection F, we all have our own thoughts on that, but I'm not going to get into that because that's an entirely different video. But there were explanations.
There
in that.
was barely any explanation because Resurrection
There
F,
was a few
Resurrection F felt the same. The only difference was
Resurrection F was the same.
yeah.
literally was. The only difference was Ginyu. That was the only difference.
And Goten.
And Battle of Gods
I'd argue
was
that
still sort of the same story, just different area,
No,
longer fight.
I'd argue that the Battle of Gods they did actually try and throw in because they spent more time with Beerus's beginnings, showing him on different planets and how he works and functions. They also showed him having the premonition of the Super Saiyan God that we didn't see in the film, which I think benefited the story in a way. I'm going to say the thing that's the obvious thing is it just needs to be said. Cell Max kind of feels like a bit of slap in the face to the original Cell.
Yeah.
One of the most charismatic villains in all of Dragon Ball, and they reduced him to a Hirudegan, to a Bio Bro.
Because we could have had that rematch.
Blah 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 blah
Gohan.
blah. You know,
Like,
this has all been said.
Yes.
Uh-uh.
I get that. I understand your point. But there are a couple of points that I would take to defend. One, it's not Cell.
No.
It's just a creature that looks like Cell. If they full on resurrected Cell, the Cell that we knew, and oh god,
here we go again.
You know what? It doesn't say it on this, but you also said that, so I blame you for that as well.
What?
You said you didn't want Cell. You didn't want actually Cell. You wanted a bio version of Cell. Like, it doesn't have to be Cell. These are your words. You have to take responsibility for your actions.
you're gonna have to go.
You're
back
gonna have to commit seppuku.
I didn't mean to that. I didn't mean to that extent that we had.
You should never have said it.
Like,
Jinxed it.
you didn't have to like talk or anything like that.
okay.
Like,
Cell
just
Max.
couldn't-
Alright, yeah. So
Yes.
okay, so that was reason number one. It's not
It's not
Cell.
Cell.
I will forgive it for that. Two, the film is not about Cell.
It's about Gohan.
No, it's not even
Nah,
about
it's
Gohan.
more about Piccolo.
It is a
I've
Piccolo
got Piccolo vibes for
Yeah.
like,
I will admit that the bond between Gohan and Piccolo was a core theme of the movie.
yeah.
And I do love that Gohan did a page right out of his father's book and took the win at the last minute when Piccolo
Yeah.
did all the fucking work.
Yeah.
that was just great. But yeah, the film isn't about Cell, it's about Piccolo. And yes, Cell is very charismatic, but as we discussed, talking takes time. And there's not a lot you could do with... It's difficult because when Frieza came back, it was a Frieza film. He was
Yeah.
at the start, middle, and end.
And we were all so excited for him. We loved it.
Yeah.
They could have done Cell in a similar manner.
Yeah.
It would, and you could have had Cell resurrected at the start, been present in the middle, and at the end. But Cell doesn't have a history. Cell doesn't have a lineage like Frieza does.
Yeah.
He doesn't have he doesn't have an army. He doesn't have a presence. He doesn't have many characters to interact with. And if he did have any characters to interact with, like the Red Ribbon Army, he would have just treated him like just like Frieza. We would have been comparing this film to Resurrection F more than we would have done Broly. And I would say that it would have been we would have said that it was a worse version of Resurrection F, and I think it's fair to say that out of all the most recent films, Resurrection is our least favourite. Not bad.
It is the least favourite.
but
Yeah.
it is the least favourite. So
Yeah.
they didn't copy Frieza, which I will respect.
Yeah.
And they did also give more time to the villains, not villains,
Yeah.
who I really liked.
No, I like them a lot.
Well,
Gamma 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Gamma 1 and 2. I did not expect to like those two as much as I did.
Yeah, same.
I literally thought they were going to be, as we discussed in our commentary, just fuel for this new Cell.
Yeah.
I think they stole the show, I think.
They did.
Definitely. So, the fact that they weren't just a tool to power up Cell, and they were their own characters, and they made an impact.
Yeah, but that's like saying that 17 and 18 are just tools to power up Cell. They still had their own defining character traits and personalities that we liked.
True, but they had a series.
That's
they
true.
had a long time to span out their character, and they were already previously established with Trunks in the...
You did say, though, like, with Cell there needs to be dialogue and stuff, but, like...
There does.
Does there, though? Like, he could have just shown up and said some shit to Gohan.
Yeah, but
Chat some shit to him and then start fighting.
Is that really a worthy compromise, though? Just talking?
Just for Cell. I mean, I would have taken it just to see perfect Cell. Really, like, I know it's just bullshit fan service, but like, I'd argue the whole film is.
I would have to agree.
I think the whole film is f***ing fan service.
Yeah.
Why not go all in? You know, even at the sacrifice of some story, I guess.
Yeah, but Broly's all fan service as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, but there was
sense,
there's a different balance of that.
With Broly though, they did actually proactively have to spend time introducing him because it wasn't
making
just
him a character.
Yeah, but like with Cell, you don't have to really. He kind of serves his purpose just for Gohan. You know, it's just for Gohan, and that's it. You know?
Speaking of Gohan, I just feel like Gohan Beast was so cool when he first transformed.
Gohan Blanco.
I did.
The meme come to life.
Hang on. Before we move on to Gohan, because Gohan's going to be an entirely different subject.
That's true.
Okay.
Is there
I want to say something about Piccolo.
Is there anything we want to say about Cell Max?
Okay, Cell Max. I will admittedly, despite how he became to be, it's another giant fight.
It was nice to see.
We could see that in a game one day.
Yeah.
It probably would be cool. And everyone just came about. It wasn't like Goku and Vegeta weren't there for once. It was the rest of the Z fighters came about and helped out and stuff. But
Cell Max was nothing more than a visual reference to Cell.
Yeah.
He actually was nothing to do with Cell in any way. He had none of the traits of Cell.
Yeah.
He just looked like
I
him.
liked that we had a bit more of
Which again is annoys me just because of the tease.
I get
the
that.
immense tease.
Yes, I get that.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm like daunted by the fact that we may never see Cell ever again now.
Yeah.
This could have been the perfect place for him to come and go.
See what you did there.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't realise.
This would have been the perfect place for him to come and go.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
And it would have. I think it would have been sweet as
Yeah.
but that's what makes me sad. The wasted potential.
After seeing how they did Cell, I don't really want them to do Cooler now to be canonised.
I don't know.
I'm worried how they would do him.
No, because Cooler...
I don't even know how he would fit anymore.
Well, they'd have to reintroduce Cooler, so they'd
Yeah,
have to spend time telling his story.
But Cooler, like Frieza, has a history. He has a lineage, he has a story.
Yeah.
Cell was born, raised, died within 6 years on Earth.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yeah.
Not a lot you can do with a story there.
No.
Frieza has always been that ambitious Emperor Lord thing, and you
No, I get that, but we're downplaying it just because we're saying like Cell wouldn't get the divinity that he deserves in the film, I guess, as opposed to Monster of the Week.
But you said that this film is very fan servicey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monster of the Week for Dragon Ball movies,
Yeah, sure. Not at the expense of Cell.
but it's not Cell.
I know. It just bothers me that they even bothered to make it look like Cell at all.
Yeah.
Like, why make just a visual reference and nothing else?
Because if it was something new, if it was like an entirely different life form, we would be going, they could have brought back they could have brought back Cell, they could have brought back...
Yeah, but when we say...
They could have brought back Dr. Weed.
When we say they could have brought back Cell, we mean Cell. That's the problem.
That's
you know
it.
what I mean?
Like...
We don't mean like something that looks like Cell.
The thing is, it's difficult, but they split a decent balance, because they could have either gone, they would have just brought back Cell entirely, which I think they could have done, yes, but they would have had to like change the entire formula of the film.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have worked just to have him come back in the last 10 minutes of the film. Or they could have gone a new route, or the other route, which was just to make a random Monster of the Week, which we'd never seen before, which again wouldn't have worked because this is a nostalgia film.
Yeah.
All Dragon Ball films are based off nostalgia and fan service now. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
So, I think in the middle ground, you're not going to please everyone.
Yeah.
But as a middle ground, I think it works.
I will say though, it was cool seeing Red Ribbon Army come back, and they were in hiding with like a fake corporation they had, like the seeds and stuff.
Red Ribbon
and
Pharmaceutical or something.
Red
yeah,
Pharmaceuticals,
and I liked that. we had a bit more history on Jiro's history. I mean, we had a bit of a confirmation with Android 21 and 16 being related to them and stuff. Jiro had another son.
Yeah, we
Like,
learned
what?
that Jiro had 2 sons. We only know of 16. Jebo, that's his name. And, name confirmation as well. And we actually
what was
see
21's name? Vomi, yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
They're really making her a thing now.
Yeah.
She was just a fighter's character, like just a made-up character for the game.
Like I said, this doesn't mean that she's like actually like active in the canon of Dragon Ball. It just means that they referenced her.
That's
in the canon
exactly
of Dragon
what I mean. If they canonise that film, God knows if they do or not.
That's the
Where
question, isn't
on
it?
earth will it take place? Because Broly doesn't look like he's evolved himself.
This is 2 years later, from what I'm to understand.
Really? I thought it was.
I heard it was 2 years
many
later.
years later because of the growth spurt of Trunks and Goten.
Yeah, but
But then they said they grew up quicker. Yeah, which I guess.
Yeah,
I guess I don't mind.
If I'm not mistaken,
because Goku had that.
Goku, when he returned to the 21st World Tournament,
Like
was 2 years.
2 or 3 years later.
And he popped up, didn't he?
Yeah.
So they did the same thing for Goten and Trunks.
Gohan in and out of the time chamber was 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah, he grew.
So that's beside the point.
I guess that's okay. Which makes me wonder, because Trunks and Goten and the manga are still kids. So when does that take place? Like,
the manga's meant to be all before this film, presumably.
That's what I mean.
That's what we all are saying and everyone's talking about.
Oh, it's kind of tricky because we'll mention this late in another commentary.
Well, there'll be
That's the point.
of the manga.
But we see Goten and Trunks in the Moro arc.
Yes.
We don't see them in the
any of the later arcs.
in the latest arc.
Yeah.
So we don't know. So I think they might say
Because they're still on the island, aren't they? 17's island.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the last we saw them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last we saw them, but we don't actually know how far after the arc has just been.
It seems to be not long after Moro. Seems
I
like
don't think it's not long after. But if they said like if it was like a couple of years,
I have a feeling.
It goes because after Moro, it goes straight into the Granolah arc, doesn't it?
does it?
I swear it does. There's no like.
I don't know what we're trying to say here by talking about this. By the way, we're trying to like. I'm saying. I think it's pretty fair to say that this film, is just ahead of the manga completely.
Yeah.
It's the furthest point in the timeline that we aren't there yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thank you for getting us back on track.
Yeah.
I want to talk about either Gohan or Piccolo.
Let's talk about Gohan.
I kind of want to talk about Piccolo to lead to Gohan.
Okay.
Because I have my thoughts on that.
Alright,
so, yeah, like we said before, Piccolo, it was basically a Piccolo film. It was really cool. Nice little relationship he had with Pan and stuff. I love that he name calls her teachers and stuff. Like just knowing, like, just off the bat, I'm like, hey Michelle, how are you?
I forgot about that. That was great.
I was like, I laughed so much at that. I was like, oh my god. And then when
Piccolo's like, what's with these? They do it in Dragon Ball, don't they? They're like, Vegeta's such a hard ass on Trunks, but he's really nice to Bra. And Piccolo's such a dick to Gohan, but he's really nice to Pan.
Yeah.
It's like when they're a girl and like they can't beat them up. You know what I mean? Like Piccolo was a dick to Gohan when he was training him, kind of thing.
I mean, in fairness, if there was a planet-ending threat coming to town and Piccolo had to train Pan, maybe.
Yeah. But he had that mentality in the film, even still, that there could always be a threat around the corner. That's why he came down on Gohan so hard.
Yeah,
that is
literally, that's
it.
it.
Yeah, that is
which made Gohan push himself just off the bat. Like,
I think Piccolo's handling in it was good.
Yeah. I was
very comedic.
I was a bit skeptical of how he had to wish for a new power, but I kind of took it out of context. What I didn't realise was that Shenron unlocked a potential in him that he's always had in him.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Apparently.
No, he didn't.
Apparently.
Yes, he did.
No, it was.
Unleashed potential, just like Guru.
That was the yellow form. And then Shenron, I quote, said, I threw in a bonus for you.
Oh, yeah.
That was the orange form.
I don't remember.
The big giant orange
The
form.
yellow form was his potential. The symbol thing on his back that was the dragon that turned into the symbol was Shenron throwing in a little bit extra.
Oh.
Now,
which is a bit weird, because Shenron's never, ever done that.
I believe
he's not allowed to do that.
To be fair, no one's asked that.
It's just Namekian bullshit, I guess. Favoritism.
I guess.
Maybe.
I guess he sensed karma.
If I'm not mistaken, what I said when we came out of that was about that movie. I said, I feel as though that movie...
You could have used that against Cell, but never mind.
I think my exact words were I felt as though Superhero perfectly encapsulated all of the modern problems I have with Dragon Ball. All in one film. Piccolo is one of them. A character that does nothing but train and meditate.
Right.
He literally, of all things, gets handed a transformation. As a free gift. Free subscription gift. I can't get down with that. I can't get down with that at all for Piccolo. Like, I have nothing good to say about that at all. Apart from that maybe the form is kind of cool looking.
Yeah, but then you have him going to Kami to merge him because he knows that's also no other choice because he has to.
Yeah, but these were pre-established Namekian things.
Yeah.
At least they followed that. But now that we're past that bullshit, and you'd think that Piccolo train. If they would have just handed him a transformation that he earned himself, we wouldn't have questioned it. We were saying that in our previous commentaries. If he pulls a new form, we'd be like, fair enough. All he does is train.
But let's be honest, what is he training? He's training his mind, not his body.
I'm assuming he does some sort of.
I would imagine do both.
He does do a lot of
clone
training.
But we have to use that word. We have to imagine.
No. We
never see him training his body. We always train.
We do see Piccolo doing mimicry training where he splits himself and fights himself. So he does clearly do some kind of physical training as well.
Let's just keep fit.
That we know of. You know,
that's the equivalent of us doing Wii Sports.
And it pisses me off because Piccolo is like the legendary Namekian warrior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Piccolo Daimao. And it's like, of all the characters to just have a superpower, like be a literal super Namekian, they had to hand him a new form?
Yeah.
That sucks. That really blows.
That's why I was a bit like, oh, really? I remember when you first told me that, before we went to see the film, I kind of saw spoilers anyway, so we kind of just started spoiling it. You already saw it before anyway, before we went to cinema.
Yeah.
And when you told me about it, I was like, what? That's not a Piccolo thing to do.
Okay. That's where
I
disagree.
But then when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, I can kind of get the context now.
Okay, on the subject of that's not a Piccolo thing to do, I thought about this long and hard, and I thought about it. They didn't really word it as I personally would have, or I would have imagined them wording it in the film. But Piccolo has always made the harder decisions to get stronger, or he's made the harder decisions for the sake of the greater good.
Yeah.
So a couple examples of this. He trained Gohan. He trained his enemies, his greatest enemy's son, for the sake of getting stronger. He sacrificed everyone on Earth to buy Goten and Trunks more time to train
for Boo. Yeah,
against Boo.
Yeah.
He sacrificed his pride by fusing with Kami.
Yeah.
He has always limited himself for the good.
I get that.
I guess you look at it that way.
So him wishing for his potential to get unlocked, I can buy that.
It was the wording. He didn't seem exactly pissed off by it.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't pissed off by it, and at the same time, Bulma did bring up a very good fucking point. Where he said, "Why don't you just wish this whole problem to go away?" And the response was, but my pride."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, we're really still doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but there's got to be something else by now. Surely you've done 20 years of the same excuse, but then again, you wouldn't have a movie. So
it just seems weird.
Exactly.
Like the on top of everything we just discussed and all the weirdness and problems with it. I mean, then they can throw the cherry on the cake of Orange Piccolo.
I love it.
Great name.
I love it.
Yeah.
I actually
they always have
genuinely
to
love
name it
it.
after colours now. All these forms.
Colours.
Wow.
I used to hate it, but now the fact that they are aware, they are self-aware of this joke.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or are they just
Clearly,
really?
yeah, because they've done.
They?
Yeah.
Or are they just
because
really?
he just said, I call it Orange Piccolo.
Are you sure that's not just that they're shit at naming?
No.
Because I do.
No, because I full on believe they are in on the joke.
I don't know if they are, man. I just think doing an English word in Japanese is exotic and sounds cool on a character, but to us it just sounds really basic. You know what I mean? That's the downside. I don't know if they're self-aware. I mean, dude, Ultra Ego.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like these names suck. You know what I mean? Gohan Beast.
I get the
Gohan Beast mode. Yeah. Gohan Blanco. You know what I mean? Like
was he always called Gohan Beast? I thought I was a fan.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was a fan.
No. He changed it. It was originally called Final Gohan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they thought, we might use Gohan again at some point.
Then Toriyama changed his mind and called it Gohan Beast.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
People are allowed to change their minds.
No, that's fine. It's just both of the names blow.
True. Beast. I would have called Super Saiyan 4 Beast Goku.
You know what I mean? Ultimate Gohan. Ultimate sounds like peak,
Yeah.
and then we go to Beast. What's bestial about it? Broly's Beast. Super Saiyan 4 is Beast.
Hold on. You can't have a go at Ultimate Gohan when that was literally 20 years ago again.
Yeah, I know. But there's got to be another name other than Beast Gohan. What is bestial about that form?
I don't know.
It's just
But I
Super
will
Saiyan 2.
Yeah, but I will stand by Orange Piccolo because they.
Sure.
Super Saiyan 2 at Ultra Instinct level.
Sure. Yeah.
And also, but I know they're in on the joke because they have to be because of the conversation Gohan and Piccolo had. And Gohan was like, "Man, we got to think of a cool name for this new form." And Piccolo was like, "Oh, I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna call it Orange Piccolo, to be honest." And then that's all I needed to know. They're like, "Cool." They don't care because they don't need to. It's just a name.
Regardless of names, now that we're on the subject of Gohan.
No, because I want to talk about. Piccolo
I just think Piccolo, with all his cool names for shit like Special Beam Cannon, Hell Zone Grenade, and Light Grenade, and all this badass name,
Right?
comes up with something so profound as
True.
Orange Piccolo.
Literally, when you look
Couldn't
at it
have
that
taken
way,
5 more minutes to come up with something
He's
better.
got a point.
You know what I mean?
All those other names are badass names.
It's a shame.
Special Beam Cannon.
Okay, maybe not that one, but Makan Posapo sounds pretty cool.
That's the better one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the Japanese sounding thing.
And
Yeah.
Light Grenade,
But
that's pretty cool.
Do you see what I mean? The weird thing. It's like, that sounds cool to us. Orange Piccolo sounds cool to Japanese.
Yeah.
To us, it sounds kind of stupid. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the weird, like, you know what I mean? The language
Translation,
barrier.
yeah.
In what way is Hellzone Grenade a grenade?
Well, I don't know.
Because
It's
it's
not
more
really.
like a sort of
They
like
should have
ball-
called it.
That's
looks like-
light.
it looks like
That's
a-
light grenade. I'm talking about a Hellzone grenade.
A Hellzone Grenade. Oh, what is they're still balls? They just fire
Multiple grenades at once.
and then they blow up.
Yeah.
That's not
What
how a
would you
grenade-
have called it?
grenades.
What? It's like a scatter grenade.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm.
We're really.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Alright, let's not get off topic here.
I want to keep talking about Piccolo just
Okay.
a little bit because
We need to like sum up Piccolo so we can
Piccolo.
get into Gohan.
He had his Piccolo form as well, which we didn't really talk about.
Yeah. That's the yellow form, isn't it?
That just kind of came and went though.
Yeah, it didn't really last that long.
No.
mid-form. I want to talk about the alternative because we've said that he got his wish and again shame on like I'll throw in a little extra for you. Okay, fair enough.
Racism.
But he had his giant form.
Preference.
He had his giant form come back,
Giant form comeback, which was super cool.
which was also BS though because it's meant to be a lifespan.
Yeah, no, they retconned it.
Because it would.
Why not?
Because they have to retcon everything now.
Yeah.
Which one ruins it?
Does it ruin it?
It really does.
We are
Because
too.
it had stakes.
We
It
are-
had stakes.
It's battling a giant version of
Oh.
Cell that can kill you, not stakes enough.
We are too
Could have
complacent.
killed him even more if he turned giant.
I feel like we are too complacent with modern Dragon Ball in the sense that we just sort of say, whatever, you know, it's Dragon Ball, but it's like it's a shame. We are sacrificing some of the coolness of the original Z, and we're
That's
just
what I
kind
mean.
I don't
of letting
care.
it go.
I don't care.
I just-
Z's been and gone. I'm done talking about it.
But that's the thing. We treat Z as if it's gone. It's like, yeah, it really has. Like they're basically
And
puppeteering
they're like-
Dragon
they're
Ball
like-
Z's
they're like-
corpse at this
that's
point.
what I mean,
It is so shit
They're
compared to Z.
rehashing Z all the Z arcs in a way
Constantly, you know.
that, just to bring out something similar that we've seen before.
It's a shame.
It kind of is like.
That's my view on Super as a whole. I don't know why I'm still f***ing watching it. It's like morbid curiosity.
Because we can't help
Yeah.
it. It's Dragon Ball.
It's Dragon Ball.
Right.
It really is. I'll take it. You know, it's
It's
something.
Regardless of how it gets, you do get some form of entertainment out of it, like you said earlier with Cell Max and
Well,
stuff.
but at the end of the day,
and more fighting stuff.
At the end of the day, the only thing that ruins Dragon Ball is when you think about it. If you just accept it for what it is, which is just people beating the shit out of each other with awesome transformations and powers,
Yeah, but that's
which is what Z was all about.
that's when you trivialize it.
Yeah,
down.
but Z actually had a smooth plot going. It was a good consistency, you know.
I do generally wonder what the differences between us and a casual Dragon Ball fan.
Yeah,
What they
I
were
don't
saying.
know.
Because we it's so ingrained
I know there's definitely
in
fans
us.
out there that are similar.
There's fans that are like us for sure, like that think
Yeah.
the same
There's
thing.
some fans that disagree with Super because of how they do reuse some old arcs and
And don't get me wrong.
turn it overboard.
And don't get me wrong, I do have a lot of problems with Super.
Oh yeah,
but,
same.
But in terms of the retcon things, I don't care about retcons anymore. 'cause-
Pretty ridiculous to me though. Vegeta retcon, I'll never let it go.
Yeah.
All the move retcons that have been raped because of it, like Spirit Bomb, Soul Punisher, most fusion related things. I think, oh yeah, that was a fun one Toriyama came out with the other day in his Infinite Wisdom. He said, Gogeta fusion, no matter what he does in his Metamoran fusion form of Gogeta, it can go for the full 30 minutes. Doesn't matter what he does, it will last for 30 minutes. That's why he stayed as it in Broly. And apparently, yeah, he said, what was it? Patara fusion is less refined. Even though it's, you know, deities, gods, godly, Kais. Somehow it's less refined than the alien technique. So it feels like we've somehow switched the two now, when
Yeah.
Potara used to be this thing.
Yeah, but to be fair, we know nothing about the Metamorian race. They could be higher. Actually, I am just bullshit right now, but they could. But
that's a terrible retcon.
does it matter?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, because I like
the
the
whole
idea-
Vegito thing that separated him from Gogeta was the fact that there were all these intricacies to how Potara worked.
I get what you guys are saying, but we're going off topic.
We are going
What
off
were you going to
topic.
say about Piccolo?
I've forgotten.
Okay.
No, I want to talk
The
about
alternative.
Huh?
Before we go and go on,
Okay.
you had an alternative for Piccolo.
Yeah,
I said giant form.
yes, we got to consider the alternative of even if he didn't get the wish, he just pulls out this form out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would have bought it though, because like
Piccolo-
you said, all
Piccolo
he
was
does is
training for
train.
it, yeah.
All he does is train. I would have buyed it. I would have gone
That's why it's
fair.
bullshit when Gohan just randomly batted it out because he wasn't. He was barely training.
We should talk about that.
Right, now moving on to Gohan. Let's see. Now, Gohan Beast.
I'll let you talk.
Whatever form you call it, yeah. I feel like the whole discussion has just been you two arguing. I'm not gonna lie.
it was you two arguing in the beginning.
At the beginning, and then it was
Yeah.
mostly you two afterwards.
Sorry,
I've just been the host for most of
There's
it.
a lot to talk about.
I'm very
Yeah.
argumentative today.
Regardless of how BS the form was, I will admit it was cool seeing Gohan badass once again after so many years.
Of course.
And when he first transformed into that form, I had such a big smile on my face with the callback to Cell, and he got angry, everything went silent, powered up and
the
stuff.
swirling eyes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That was all good and all, I have to admit. The one shot, kind of a couple of like punches he did on Cell Max was really cool and stuff, and the special beam cannon was
finishing with
top
special
notch.
beam.
That was I will give a French kiss.
Yeah, no.
Even the fights before that with Gamma
It's
and
funny
stuff,
as well.
that was really cool.
In the games, it was always a game thing, wasn't
Yeah.
it? That Gohan can use special beam cannon. It was like non-canon, but now it's canon.
Now it's
He
canon.
can fully use that. Yeah.
And it makes full amount of sense because they said Cell has one particular Cell Max.
Excuse me.
Cell Max
Yeah.
has one particular weak point. Kamehamehas are just a big blast wave,
Yeah.
but special beam cannon pinpoint
Right through
precision.
the head. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It works. It's great.
yeah, Gohan's fight with Gamma and stuff, that was really cool. I really enjoyed that and stuff, and how he turned Ultimate and that.
Yeah, it kind of felt like he had to squeeze Ultimate out though.
Yeah.
It did, yeah.
Like it wasn't like
He really,
just turn the switch on.
Had
It
to
was
push
like
it. Yeah.
Which makes me wonder if this is quite, a few years after Power Tournament.
Probably. Yeah, it must be. Especially
No,
with Trunks and Goten.
It's
like,
not
gross
only
stuff.
that. It's fused after everything in the manga. Like isn't
Yeah.
it? Presumably.
Yeah. But
Continue.
what I was gonna say, I feel like Gohan's beast form was kind of
How about the look?
wasted. I'll spend a look in a sec. Was kind of wasted because going back to Piccolo, I feel like Piccolo's sacrifice. I feel like Piccolo wasn't even trying against Cell because he was trying to make Gohan angry.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's the vibe I got. It just makes Piccolo's new form redundant because he was trying to get Gohan to get angry.
I'm gonna be honest. The whole
So-
trigger for Gohan transforming into Gohan Blanco was really stupid. It was really dumb.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, with Piccolo,
I hated it.
Like,
It was really silly. Like
Why?
if we're going by the let's hypothetically assume what everyone else is saying and that all the manga stuff has already happened and we're way in the future and all this.
yes. Compared to the manga,
It's kind
against Moro's
it's-
and minions and stuff.
It's kind of no, that's not what I'm talking about.
Something I want to say to that.
What's kind of interesting is that Gohan watched his dad get an arm put through him by Moro. And,
Yes,
and his
that's
dad
exactly what I was
can't
gonna say.
regenerate like Piccolo can.
Right?
He didn't blow up then.
Right?
Yeah, but that's Goku.
We're not going to go on this pretend
No, we're not-
thing
no,
where
no,
we
we're
say
not
that
doing this.
Piccolo
You
is his
saw
real
you saw
dad.
Gohan's face.
Gohan cares about his dad.
Yeah,
his
he should
real
he
dad.
should have blown up there and then.
His dad can't regenerate, and he got an arm put through him. That's a mortal wound. He would have died without the Senzu.
Exactly.
He should have blown up then. Why
Yeah.
Piccolo? Why then?
Okay, I do kind of see your point, but I will argue on the basis that when it was Moro, Gohan wasn't on his own.
Yeah.
There were plenty of other people around him, but in Samak, yes, there were other people around him, but the responsibility was fully on his shoulders.
Sure.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't think that
I
saves
don't know,
it to
it
me.
doesn't, yeah, it doesn't. It's still not satisfying.
Yeah, That's like I said.
Gohan's always had a temper.
Unfortunately, the film
is.
kind of feels like it encompasses a lot of the problems I have with modern Dragon Ball. One of them being multiple transformations with not much explanation or circumstance or build up.
Again, that's always been Z.
Look how.
No, but even in Z though, it was like Gohan's Super Saiyan 2 form was built up since the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Z.
No, Super Saiyan 2 was great, but I will argue that Super Saiyan 2 was the last time a transformation
Super
was
Saiyan
done
3,
well.
even though had like lore sense because Goku had been dead for 7 years. We could at least believe that in 7 years he unlocked a new form.
Yeah, but we could have at least seen the training to build up to that.
Fair, but we could still believe it because it had been 7 years.
Yes.
In the nowadays stories, it is just boop, you know.
Yeah,
And you gotta also remember that Gohan even got angry when Videl got slapped by Spopovich. Literally flew it right into the ring. And
He's supposed to have always had a problem with
mean.
controlling his rage.
That's what I mean.
That's when he went Super Saiyan 2 for the first time.
Well, yeah, but he got
Bojack.
He got angry. He didn't hold himself together. He turned Super Saiyan straight away.
As a callback to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan against Cell, it doesn't. It feels like it falls flat to me. Like if you're comparing it to the how that happened and all the build up to that, it just didn't feel the same. It felt forced.
This is a problem when you have a franchise where death is literally no consequence. So, and they don't even use death anymore.
That's it.
They just have
the stakes in Dragon Ball are just not there anymore.
In all fairness, Gohan probably thought Piccolo was dead.
I guess.
Then you could have thought Goku was dead against Moro.
Piccolo was actually dead though in Resurrection F.
Yeah, but Goku they can bring back with Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
Piccolo, yes, they can technically, but it's a little bit more complex. There's some extra steps.
That's what I mean.
Actually, wait, no, they have Dende.
Yeah, exactly. And you saw that
it's completely irrelevant.
sort of edited Dragon Balls a bit, didn't they?
Yeah.
So again, just
there are no stakes.
There are no stakes anymore. Everything's just been made redundant now. The only good thing about it we get now is really good fights. The manga's been really good, and occasionally some good story in the animes. But then it's like up and down in Super.
Can I go on like a weird tangent about I didn't really have a problem with how it looked, the form. I know a couple of people were talking about the hair.
I did like Gohan because it is a callback to Super Saiyan 2. It's a clever callback.
It's alright.
It's just massive.
Don't get me wrong. I think like colouring it like Ultra Instinct.
Because it's what Super Saiyan 3 was meant to look originally.
Really?
Kind of. When there was remember when there was concept art of Goku with Super Saiyan 3 hair.
No, I don't remember.
And it's the idea of where Ultra Ego comes in because of the eyebrows, but it was Super Saiyan 2 head just longer and longer.
That's cool.
It kind of reminded me of that.
Well, I actually heard that the red eyes came from one of the original concepts for Super Saiyan on Namek. It was drawn with red eyes initially. So it's kind of cool.
So it's like they mixed a couple of things they had originally.
Let's take all these things we threw in the bin and put them in the trash that is Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
But okay, no, I'm being too critical.
But yeah.
A tangent that I wanted to go for Gohan was I might be the only one who thinks this, but I actually really wish that he wasn't wearing Piccolo's outfit in this film.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I liked him Piccolo.
Because it's a Piccolo movie.
Because
I think it makes more sense here than it did in Cell.
I think
Cell
the fact that the movie is called Superhero and has superheroes with capes in it should have been Great Saiyaman.
I will admit that it was a missed opportunity for Great Saiyaman.
It should have been his.
Even Great Saiyawoman for Videl.
Let's be real. Great Saiyaman with Super Saiyan hair is an underrated look. Yeah. It looks badass, and I wanted to see that.
I kind of liked the Great Saiyaman outfit when he didn't have the green top on.
And it's kind of
he looked really cool.
It's depressing because I know that when we get the anime and when we get Moro, we're going to see Gohan in Piccolo's outfit in that anyway. Yeah. So it's like, why blow the load now? You could have done Great Saiyaman. It's called Superhero.
Yeah, but the film is about Piccolo and Gohan. If I had to pick,
it could have still been about Piccolo and Gohan.
No, I will admit the Great Saiyaman outfit should have been in it, but as opposed to whether or not
it's not
that outfit could have been destroyed at any point, and then he could have switched to Piccolo's outfit. That's how I would. That's how I would personally preferred it. I admit that it is a shame that the Saiyaman outfit was gone because. Great Saiyaman versus Gamma. Yeah. Like a superhero.
That would have been sick.
That would have been cool. If the suit got destroyed then, and then Piccolo was like, Clothes Beam!
You would have used that costume against Cell.
That would have been cool. Yeah. That would have been really nice.
Nice little shoehorn.
So. But I do admit the white hair looks great, but it is a weird choice considering Ultra Instinct.
That's it. Like, and it just makes. Because this is what is so bizarre.
I don't know what else I would colour.
This is what's so bizarre to me now. Akira Toriyama confirmed that Gohan is now the strongest being.
Yeah.
He's
said
stronger than
Gohan's
Goku
stronger
Vegeta,
than Goku
somehow.
Vegeta.
Does that mean
Broly.
that means Goku and Vegeta have not evolved their Ultra Instinct ego forms yet?
Gohan.
It is so bizarre.
Gohan.
And
Like,
off the bat, Gohan just had it. Just became strong like that.
I'm almost.
Human potential.
I'm almost.
With barely any training.
I'm almost pissed off, and I love it at the same time.
Yeah.
Because we've always said Gohan has the potential to be the strongest fighter.
And now he has.
Now we
he's
are
realised
actually
that
seeing it for
Yeah.
real. Like, holy shit, it's real. He
Yeah.
actually did eclipse everyone else instantly. So on one hand, that's kind of awesome, but I suppose
It came out of nowhere.
yeah,
That's
straight
it.
out.
Literally.
Can anyone explain what beast form is? Like Rose or Rage Trunks
Right.
or any of the other shit?
Literally.
No, we don't get explanations. Not allowed.
But now
But-
every main
But
Z.
can you explain what Super Saiyan is?
But it had more backstory at least.
It did have a
Yeah.
backstory.
You know what I mean?
That was a
Like-
history, but I don't think a backstory is equating to an explanation.
No, don't get me wrong, but it's just like, what is like Rose, for instance?
What
Yeah.
is Super Saiyan?
No, I mean, we know what a Super Saiyan is now. It's
Do
pre-established. It's just the transformation of a Saiyan.
Yeah.
That's the simplest way you can put it. We know what a god form is now, a Super
Yeah.
Saiyan god, but what the hell is things like Rose? They don't have, like, what is it?
Well,
We
Rose-
make up our own explanations. It's Kai mixed with God. And
It's like
Same
it's
with
like,
Gohan's
it's like,
new
it's like a corrupt.
I'm
blue-
just
blue form,
assuming
'cause
that Gohan's
it's
new
by
form.
a corrupt Kai.
I'm assuming that Gohan's new form is just somehow his potential unleashed shit with the Kais mixed with some god shit, maybe?
Somehow.
I mean, Trunks spent like 5 minutes with Blue Vegeta and turned Super Saiyan Rage, so
Yeah.
maybe the same happened with Gohan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Somehow.
Yeah.
Like.
Fuck.
But to be fair, Super Saiyan Rage.
Oh, one thing we forgot to mention.
Yeah, we kind
just
of
to sum up Gohan. Was there anything you want to sum up Gohan yet? Because I wanted to talk about Goku and Vegeta quickly.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
let's talk about some Goku Vegeta.
Talk about Goku Vegeta. So I'm glad they were more off-world, you know, because let's admit, with Goku and Vegeta were about, they would have defeated Cell, no problem. But, well, maybe still put up a bit of a fight, but yeah.
Yeah.
Admittedly though, when they were sparring, it was a cool fight.
It was.
Because it wasn't like it was a bit more martial arts.
Yeah, I'm going to be real.
And,
You
like,
know, you talked about things in the film that take up time. Didn't need any of that Goku.
No.
you kind of
No,
didn't.
it
You really
I
kind of
didn't want any of that.
But
Should have
it
been there.
it kind of was really cool to see.
It was cool. It was cool. But you are right. They didn't.
I actually wish none of them were in it.
But
at
now
all.
it kind of
Like,
ruins the idea of.
I think-
I beat Kakarot finally. Now it just ruins the idea of them ever fighting again.
No, it doesn't.
It kind of
It
does.
was
It
played
doesn't
off
look
for a gag, and they probably will fight for real.
Yeah,
Eventually.
because the fight wasn't a real fight because they weren't allowed to transform. They were not going all out. And also, I wouldn't agree that they shouldn't have been it at all.
I didn't want to
They-
confirm the
right
wording
at the
though,
end,
that he
maybe?
beat Kakarot.
Right
I
at
didn't
the
want
end.
to say those words not
Right-
until they
right-
actually finally fought.
Right at the start and right at the end. That's where I would have had it.
Yeah.
Instead of awkwardly breaking it.
Of course, the problem that I find with them being included at all, and like, I know that they said Whis' staff was covered by an ice cream tub, so he didn't know. Sure, fine, okay. But, you know,
Yeah.
in Resurrection F, everybody powered up, and Goku and Vegeta were like, whoa, you know.
Yeah.
Gohan turned into Gohan Blanco, and then no one's like, what the fuck is that?
They didn't even sense the. They didn't
You know
even
what I
sense
mean?
it. Yeah.
All it took was Kid Trunks turning Super Saiyan for Goku and Vegeta to feel it and teleport back to meet
yeah.
Future Trunks.
Go Tanks. What do you think? Because misleading.
But yes, that's weird.
We'll go to that.
No, we can talk about some Gotenks, because just like GT, amazingly, they kept the meme train going of us just never seeing an adult Gotenks.
Yeah. I don't know why they're so strict with that.
This is why I'm
Are they
saying,
trying to save
in
it for
a
the manga?
film that I already have so many issues with, they do shit like that.
Yeah.
Because it was funny.
I guess.
But then you see them at the
It was-
end.
it's
You
just-
see them at the end
I
fusing,
know.
but it's off shot.
I loved it.
For Christ's sake.
They're just such trolls.
Is it just a thing that they don't want to show adult Gotenks?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just trolls.
God's sake.
I genuinely laughed.
It's a shame too, because when we finally get it, it's probably not going to be that awesome.
Probably not.
Because of all the fucking build-up.
Yeah.
Huh.
And Beerus has the hots for Chilai as well. What the hell? It's so bizarre.
Adds layers to Beerus, I guess.
I'm kind of glad that kind of like makes the whole theory of Broly and Chilai. Ooh.
No, because that was never a thing.
That was never gonna be a thing.
No.
I don't know why people were theorizing that. It was a funny joke, but like
If it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I don't
Like,
care.
It just, there was no chemistry.
but it was just
She viewed him as like a
it
f***ing
was
lost
just
puppy.
it was just weird seeing
You know.
Beerus like that. But it's fair enough. I mean, Beerus would like someone.
He's a guy. They gotta get some poon. These are gods.
God knows when he last had it.
So
like, he's been asleep for like thousands of years. Or trained for thousands of years.
40 years.
40 years. Like, he's asleep for 40 years, but like, he's probably been just him and Reese for thousands of years.
Probably. I don't know.
Regardless of the other gods.
really.
Probably. Maybe. He could have been into one of the other female gods. I don't know.
I quickly want to talk about everyone's thoughts on the animation shift. This is the first fully 3D.
It was great.
Yeah.
It looked beautiful.
Considering their 3D has been a bit off in the previous movies, they really
It's refined.
refined it in
It's
this one, and
perfect.
the animation was just beautiful.
Yeah, I had no problems with it
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, it's
And those of it had original Z faces going on.
Yeah, it's interesting because the earlier films it was weird and awkward because it kept switching from 2D to 3D.
It was noticeable.
And
Yeah.
I remember when we came out of Broly, we were like, damn, that was really awesome, the animation. But I rewatched the Gogeta Broly fight not that long ago, and remember that great scene where they clash, the universe sort of shatters, and then they're 3D.
Yeah.
That looks so weird now.
It does. I don't know why it does.
It looks
yeah.
really.
No, it's because you're watching it 1 minute and it's like cool drawn, and then next week it's like Xenoverse 2, baby.
Yeah, literally.
It's exactly that. And I was like,
That's not-
don't get me wrong, it looks great, but to go from one to the other,
It's
that
like,
shift
woo.
is like
Yeah.
it's literally watching Homer Simpson go into the free to
Yeah. I feel like Superhero was more the Xenoverse cutscene vibe. The
It was like
CGI
the
bit.
It
best-
was because it was all 3D. It
Yeah.
was all 3D,
Literally.
as opposed to switching.
I'd argue
between
it looked very Kakarot cutscenes as well in terms of the 3D.
Literally.
Can I just say, because I didn't get the chance to throw in about Gotenks, kind of love that the animators even didn't have a clue what the fuck to do with his hair.
Yeah.
Told you. Told
No.
you. We had
I
a big
personally
discussion
think
about the blue hair and that, and I said, what are they going to do with the blue hair for Gotenks? It's going to look weird.
I think
Apparently
the blue,
someone thought it was weird.
Me and you didn't think the blue would look weird because it's going to have the black that differentiates it.
It looks like blue.
But you are so convinced that it would look weird.
It would look like blue. Or blue evolved.
They could have just
Except for the fact it's missing the aura, and it's got a massive streak of black going down the
That's
middle.
fine.
But yeah, they gave it the purple.
But in
at
a
the
show
end.
like that, these hair colours are typically related to these forms. It's a bit awkward when it's already like in that spiked Super Saiyan position.
I would, yeah,
You know what
but
I mean?
it never became an issue.
We're not going to go on this rant again, though.
It is hilarious to me though that like despite all of the efforts to keep it blue for Trunks, they literally just said fuck it with Gotenks and went back to lavender.
Yeah.
Somebody
Like,
explain how that
They
makes
could have.
sense.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah,
they
anyone's guess
I don't know
how
why
that
they changed
Yeah,
Trunks'
yeah.
hair in the end if they were going to make it purple in as Gotenks.
Stupid. Yeah.
Like, so yeah.
It's another one on the list of weird shit that they did in this film.
So what did you want to say about Red Ribbon Army? I don't know what's much.
I feel like they were underplayed. I feel like compared to Dragon Ball, where they
did seem out of nowhere.
in Dragon Ball,
absolutely.
Like,
in
100%.
Dragon Ball, obviously they had more time, like you've always said, like to go into it, but they felt like more of a threat, and there was like tanks and militia and you know war and stuff, and there was none of that in this. They kind of like felt like they are just comedy, and they always kind of were, but like this was hardcore comedy. You know what I mean?
Wasn't one of the guys Jiro's nephew or some sort? They related to Jiro in some way, weren't they?
Dr. Hedo
Dr. Hedo.
was his grandson,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
and he's smarter than Jiro, and all he could come up with was Cellmax.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right? So I made him as powerful as a god. Like.
I think it's fair to say that the biggest problem with this movie, and the biggest problem with Super as a whole, is that the source of time management isn't what we would. It's not what we would prioritize. Because now I'm thinking about it, because we don't really have, for the most part, the manga as a whole. So I'm talking like when Super started. The Super Dragon Ball manga as a whole, we have much more favourably to the anime. Is that fair to say?
Only now.
You still think that the anime arcs are better than the manga arcs?
Yes. I would only say
Really?
I would only say it's gotten better from Moro, but that's only because it hasn't been animated yet. I think when it gets animated, it's going to be really good. It could have the potentially.
But I'm just saying, to quickly summarise my point. I think because of the nature of it being an anime, like I said before, they don't have time to explain it, and I think it's just the lack of explaining shit that leaves us confused.
Bro, I'm just saying that like I feel like you and me could have come up with a better plot for that film in like 2 days.
I don't think so.
I do. I really think like.
I think we might have come up with a better plot, but we wouldn't have come up with a better Dragon Ball plot.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because I think our idea of Dragon Ball...
I like gags. I really do. It's what Dragon Ball is all about. It's shonen gag. It's mixed. It's what it's always been since the beginning. I get that. I have a problem with comedy and all that shit. That's fine. It's just, like I said, a lot of execution and writing nowadays, it really feels... we make too many allowances for it. It's Dragon Ball. And we say, whatever, it's just Dragon Ball, it's just a spot of fun. But it's like...
You can't help.
I can't help but be like that.
But notice these things.
Because Z was so much better.
Yeah.
I can't help but say that. It really was.
But Z was a long series. If we had time to write our own series where we had time to afford them...
I don't just mean for superhero. I mean for just Super as a whole. Super as a whole compared to Z.
Even still.
The anime Super.
The whole thing. Story-wise, writing-wise, everything. Compared to Z.
I would agree the manga is better than the anime at the moment.
I guess.
In a way, so...
I can't say that Super is shit, because it's had some great moments.
Trust me.
But even GT's been like that, man.
There's a lot of stuff...
There's stuff in GT we like.
That's what I mean, but I have to hand cherry-pick these things. Whereas for Z, I could say I like the whole thing, front to back.
Yeah. Not for me.
Really?
No.
I agree more that Z is quite good.
Z is more...
I have to handpick with Super, and that's unfortunate.
Z's more consistent, but I have my own problems with Z.
Yes. I feel like the few instances of bullshittery in Z can't excuse the absolutely groundbreaking bullshittery they do nowadays in Super. You know what I mean? In terms of power scaling and weird pullage. Like, they had a few of that in Z, but like compared to now, where it's like every 5 minutes.
Yeah. I innately feel like I have to be harsher on Z because A, I haven't watched it since I was a kid. And B, because I watched that as a kid, I naturally...
I rewatched it. I watched all of Kai. And
not Z.
No, it's just because they recut it, but the story is the same. I can't deny that the writing and the story is still great. And I've rewatched it and I went, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was f***ing amazing. Z's story is great, back to front. I can't say the same for Super, I really can't. And that's very sad to me. And I have to admit it to myself sometimes. I have to say, Super is just not as good as Z. You know what I mean?
But it never was going to be.
It's a shame, because I feel like it could be. I feel like it could be. And it does get back to the point that no one really talks about. I feel like Toriyama's kind of lost his touch. Does he really care anymore? Or is he just doing it for the cash?
Yeah, it's probably why they're...
I mean, we have to admit, because we talk about Toriyama like he's a f***ing man, like he's Stan f***ing Lee. You know what I mean? But it's like, does he actually give a shit? Because I really don't feel the love in Super at all.
Because he's just kind of all over the place with it now.
You know?
Like,
that's just how I feel
just for
the
sake of getting a good fight out.
And that's what Superhero made me do. It made me question everything and come out of it going like all those thoughts at once.
Well, they are taking a break from the mangas so they can plan out the story.
Yeah.
So
hopefully
that's like,
hopefully
that's the reason.
And Toriyama, by the way, is passing Dragon Ball onto his son apparently.
Yeah.
Poor Toyotaro. There was a chance. It's like, nope, I'm taking it to my son instead. Toyotaro could have taken that and made some weird AF shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, there has been AF hints he's done in the previous
I'm almost certain that it was offered to Toyotaro, but he just said no.
Maybe not. All I'm saying is that from what I heard, you'd have to pull up a citation. Toriyama's son was involved with the creation of Superhero. If this is what we have to look forward to going forward, holy shit. I think I might kill myself.
Oh man.
Nah, man.
We are expecting another movie.
All I'm saying is when I compare Dragon Ball to something like One Piece, in which the creator, Oda, literally, apparently, he connects every f***ing dot. He goes and thinks of shit that he thought of like f***ing 20 years ago and connects them with shit nowadays, and everything fits together perfectly, cohesively. Comparing it to Toriyama, it's like night and day. And that's depressing to me. That I feel as though One Piece, even now, is written better than Dragon Ball is.
Yeah, but One Piece was always one story.
Yeah, kinda, but it's broken up into various mini-stories and arcs and different characters and things. Amazing, right? Different characters get progression. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Amazing, right? You know what I mean?
And you could say that about Bleach too. Bleach has its like sort of separate arcs and developing certain characters and stuff.
I mean,
Naruto's like that too.
I mean, to be fair, Bleach had one villain throughout 90%, good 80-90% of its run.
You still had like
one story.
Other villains backing it up too, so.
I guess, but there are subsidiary. Anyway, we're going off topic again.
We need to wrap this up.
Interesting discussion though.
I think the interesting discussion is how you and me, we value different things in our Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
I'm kind of on half and half of you two.
Because
you're in the middle actually. Yeah. Genuinely.
Literally, yeah. the things that you hate about Dragon Ball are things that I really don't care about. For the most part. There are obviously things that we both agree on that are just bad ideas.
Okay.
But...
When you say things you don't care about, do you mean like the writing?
No, I care about the writing, obviously.
Oh yeah,
To some extent.
But the writing or the character dialogue, I don't really have a problem with. Certain plot elements are certainly undercooked.
Sure.
Or just flat out bad.
Sure.
And I think I would go as far as to say the Tournament of Power Marks is just, let's just get rid of that thing entirely, because that was just bad start to finish.
Kind of was. Yeah.
It really was. That was not a good swan song for Super to go out on,
No.
which doesn't surprise me why the anime was basically stopped after that.
Yeah. The Tournament of Power was just a load of place.
But the kind of things like characters getting power-ups for no apparent reason and stuff like that, I get that those are core aspects of what Dragon Ball is, but it's because they're core aspects of what Dragon Ball is that as long as they're present,
It still kind of feels like Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah,
That's what
and
I'm saying. I said it. I don't know if you caught what I said, but it doesn't. It does feel like Dragon Ball, but it kind of feels like getting a hand job from a zombie of Dragon Ball, like the corpse of Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? Like it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean, and that bothers me. I don't want to acknowledge it all the time, but you know.
But it's also interesting that you compared it to One Piece, you compared it to Bleach.
Compared to one Bleach.
Both of which didn't exist when Dragon Ball Z first aired. So
Yeah,
are
true.
the standards much higher now that we're
Dragon
so
Ball
much
is and
further?
always will be the forefather of many shonen anime.
But it has a lot to compete with now. One Piece is really getting there
It's
now.
true.
Bleach is coming
Yeah.
back. Naruto's going well for Boruto, sort of. It is a hit and miss, Boruto, but I still enjoy.
That's a conversation.
I enjoy
I'd
the
like
most.
to
I
hear.
enjoy most of it. I know there's some fans that don't like it.
Yeah. Okay.
But regardless, he's got some competition now.
Okay. We really need to get back to the movie.
Yeah.
We need to sum up the movie. We need to end this.
All right.
I don't know how to sum it up. Bro.
Movie totem pole of the last 4 since Battle of Gods.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh, fuck, that's hard. Yeah, okay. Broly obviously top, nice and easy. Battle of Gods, because it set up a lot of things and explained a lot. It was nice. It was I can't hate Battle of Gods because it was the return to Dragon Ball Z. It was so pure at the time.
It was a
Little
nostalgia.
did we know.
Yeah.
You know. So that Battle of Gods. Here's the hard part.
Yeah.
I might be on the same level as you, to be fair.
I don't know. Okay, no. Being real. I feel like I do have to put Superhero above Resurrection F, because at least it did have some like new characters like Gamma 1 and 2 that were written well and were likable.
We barely talked about those two actually.
That's a good point. Yeah. Lol. Like they were exactly what we thought they would be.
Yeah.
In fact, you said it in one of the previous commentaries. You felt like they were going to be heroes by the end, and that's exactly what happened.
And they were.
So there you go.
I was surprised.
We talked about the show not having any stakes. One of them did die.
They did.
Gamma
I was
1
gonna say
died,
his
right?
sacrifice was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
I just was surprised that not one of them was absorbed. I'm surprised there was no absorption involved whatsoever.
Like I said, as we said,
he had the tail ready for it.
It was, yeah, but it didn't look like the sucky absorbing tail.
it was a weird one.
It was more like I'm going to club you to death.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
The
But he was a good character. It was really great. And Hedo, whatever his name
Dr.
is.
Hedo and Gamma
He
1.
reformed himself because of it.
Gamma 2 have been recruited by Capsule Corp now,
Yeah.
and we'll probably never see them again, or they'll never do anything of anything ever again.
And Bulma
like
just,
everyone
and
else.
Bulma
but
just needed a bit of ass.
she did, full on.
Because that was
forgot
really
about
important to the story.
That was actually very integral towards the end. Actually, I'm glad that her ass actually did save the day.
Dude, do you know what? Yeah, I think it, like...
She tried special ass cannon.
Yeah,
and
like...
Cell and took him
special,
out, yeah.
like...
Yeah.
Raise your ass to the sky to give spirit.
Alright, let's go full feminist mode. What the f is happening?
My-
Why did 18 do f all? Where was Videl?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, but Videl should have been in that fight.
Videl, the one singular plus
To save her daughter?
I can give her in this film is that she has a dojo now.
Oh, true.
That's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
My
Neat.
level...
That's the equivalent of Chi-Chi having a book club to me, though.
My level...
It doesn't mean anything. Like,
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
I was like, you say it's kind of cool. Like, is it? I mean,
and we can
it makes
imagine
sense.
her fighting, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice, you know what I mean?
My level of, like,
Movies.
where the movies are, I think I would have to agree with you. Broly, Battle of Gods.
So it's either superhero or resurrection.
Yeah, it is a weird one.
It's a toughie.
It would have to be Superhero Resurrection F. Not the Resurrection F was the worst one.
No, it's just that there was more characterization and time, and the characters just felt better in Superhero. They genuinely did.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, and Piccolo, there was an improvement for Piccolo and Gohan more than there was in Resurrection F, because Resurrection F they got Piccolo and Gohan, so you know. And Goku shouldn't have had the win in Resurrection F. It should have been Vegeta. Yeah. It should have been Vegeta, and that's something they didn't change in the anime version.
Nope.
I don't know why they didn't change that. That's why I don't think the Resurrection F anime version.
And if I'm not mistaken, the manga just skipped right over it.
Yeah, they didn't even bother. They knew it was bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
well, that's my sum up.
If anything, Tournament of Power was Frieza's resurrection, in my opinion.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah,
because he was actually brought back to life.
Yeah,
thanks to Whis.
Yeah, I will say, I just said Tournament of Power. You can just retcon that whole thing because there was. I will say my two defenses I would give: Ultra Instinct and Frieza.
Frieza kind of stole the show.
True, absolutely. That final episode was just dead on.
I'm pissed off with missing out on Boo.
Yeah.
Still,
we almost had that cool ass Slim Boo.
I know.
Yeah.
But we replaced her with Frieza. I'm like, okay, that's
there was an interesting dynamic when it was Frieza.
Yeah.
So
don't know why they didn't just give it a TN or Roshi. Don't get me wrong, I like TN and Roshi, but we're doing this thing off topic.
Stop going off topic. Sorry. Say your levels.
We've done it like at least 21 times.
There's so many layers of Dragon Ball that it's impossible not to lean into one while you're talking about the other. But I agree with both of you guys. Broly, Battle of the Gods, Superhero, and Resurrection F. Okay. I put Superhero higher because I love what they did to Piccolo.
Yeah.
Again, his power up. Yes,
whatevs.
They could have explained it, but I honestly don't care because we just got to see Piccolo do some shit.
Yeah.
And it was awesome to see him doing it. And that scene where he was falling, the symbol came up on his back, the music.
The transformation was badass.
It reminded me of Super Saiyan God. Yeah. You know, when Goku was falling and then he got sort of like
very much
shoved up again.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
It wasn't like some screamo power up explosions kind of thing. It was good.
Yeah.
It just gave me this good feeling.
Yeah.
And he one-shotted Gamma 1.
Yeah, literally.
Just one hit, bang.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Resurrection F had Super Saiyan Blue, which...
I mean, it was fancy.
It was
yeah. You know, it got clapped.
Yeah.
Literally in the same film it was introduced, it got clapped.
Literally.
So, you know.
It was only Vegeta that made it more awesome, but then Goku ruined it again.
Yeah.
By defeating Frieza and not let Vegeta win.
Yeah.
So, right.
So, Superhero. I like
that. Superhero. How do we rate it?
Mid.
So what, 5 out of 10?
Sure.
Wow.
What do you rate Resurrection F then?
Yeah.
4 out of 10.
Really? Jesus.
I don't know, man. Like I
don't like rating things.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I should put it higher, but like I feel if I broke everything down and like made little flow charts and shit, or spent all day on it, I'd probably arrive at something like 5 out of 10 if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But that's just that also stems into my, like we said, my inherent problems with Dragon Ball right now.
At the end of the day,
all this commentary has done has made me depressed.
This has been and that's what it's all about. Like,
on this channel,
get depressed because of stuff we like.
Stuff we don't like.
Stuff we don't like.
And everybody's changing, and I don't feel the same.
It's hot takes. It's hot takes. It's debates. It's different opinions from each other. It's bouncing off each other.
Which is why
you guys
commentary
had
so
completely different directions of what you like and dislike Dragon Ball, and I was in sort of like in between you guys because there was good points you made, good points you made.
How boring would a commentary be if we all agreed?
That's what it's all about. That's literally what it is. So.
Yeah. Like I said, for me to summarize all the ridiculousness I've been saying, and like we talked about
ridiculous.
Exposition and how much it's needed versus not needed, and how much it can ruin the flow of a story or a film. It's just like my inherent problems with Dragon Ball. It just takes me back to like Goku vs Krillin or something, where it's like, let me just go blue on Krillin, and we're all like, what the fuck? And it's like, obviously, like Goku was holding back against Krillin. I don't think anyone actually believes he was going full power. All they would have needed was to at least say that. Like, Krillin's been feeling bad lately, so I think I'll just like go blue but hold back, just to make him feel better about himself. It would have taken like 5 seconds to explain that, and that's how I feel with some of like superhero stuff. A little bit more explanation here and there would be nice, just to make us feel better about things and stuff. But
kind of.
That's the last bit that I forgot to throw in about that earlier.
Yeah.
So
I get you.
superhero though, if I forget that I'm a Dragon Ball fan, it was alright.
I didn't.
If it was fun.
My sum up,
fun.
I didn't hate the film. It had flaws, but it had some epic moments. The main moment was it was a Piccolo film more than a Gohan, and there was that more relationship between those two. That's what I liked.
I just generally had a great time watching it because
Yeah.
I did have the stupidest grin on my face throughout the majority of it. And yes, if I paused the movie for more than 5 minutes and looked into
Hyper-analyze.
it, if I looked into it, then of course, I definitely agree that.
I think when we're in the cinema as well watching it, because considering we've been starved for Dragon Ball content for so long, and we're like all together in the cinema watching Dragon Ball, we're like on the high of
the
it
experience.
as well.
This is the experience of it.
So we're like,
really cool.
yeah, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
But I think my experience for Broly was better, just
Yes.
because of how
Yes.
Vegeta and stuff was. So yeah, but yeah, that's all I've got to say. So, what about you?
Yeah, can you tell how tired we are?
It's so. I told you it was gonna be exhausting.
It's Dragon Ball, man.
And we've got one more discussion video on the way, guys, after this. So look forward to that. It's going to be about Dragon Ball Super manga. Now.
Yes, all the recent manga news and where we're going to be heading in the future of the manga.
Yeah, now that it's ended, we've got so much stuff to say about that now. So look forward to that. We're going to end this here. I'm so sorry for how long this has been. Looks like we had lots more to debate and argue about than we thought. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like as well and comment below your thoughts. Anything you want to rant about in the comment section, please feel free. Did you agree with what we said? Anything you disagree? Do you feel like Dragon Ball's has gone down to Twitter at all? Or do you think it's going to improve at some point? Probably not. Let us know. Subscribe for more videos in the future. And we'll see you all next time. Have a fantastic day, guys. Alright? Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you later.
See you.